me, Wanda B. And I know you're like, it's not Sunday. I know I have a special going on just for you. Today, I am bringing you a Media Chick Spotlight. Now, Media Chicks is a group I've found for support for women in media, whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they have self-help groups, or just the gamut of what people do. They sell jewelry. These are just entrepreneurs, women who use media, whether they're on the radio, however they do this thing we do, sharing tips, supports, and helping each other grow in the industries that they're in. I'm very excited to choose a media chick each month to spotlight. Now, this is a group of women hand selected who empower whatever they're doing. They are the embodiment of that. And so I'm very excited to bring you a new chick each month. And this is a special month for me. I love February. My birthday is in February. It's the love month. My birthday is on Valentine's Day. So I wasn't going to do it this one. I said, no, I have to, because I love media chicks. I love my chicks, and I love, and I love February. So I got to get one in before this month is over. And I'm very excited to bring to you Lisba Romo-Martinez. Hello, Lisba.
Hello, Wanda. Thank you for inviting me today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to have you here. So I am going to have Lisba explain to you what makes her a media chick, what she does in media, and some of the things. Tell us about your group. I want to say the name because the name is so cool. It is Be Brave. Be you.
Yes. So there's a long history behind that.
Okay, tell us.
So a little bit about my history. As a kid, I was bullied, and I was also verbally abused at home. So through those challenges, I grew up as a very shy kid, very depressive, hardly spoke to anybody. So to see me here speaking with you today is awesome. So I've put myself in through that challenge of being just, being so shy and going through so many challenges. I said, I have to get myself uncomfortable. And so the journey started. I started getting myself uncomfortable, doing uncomfortable things. And what I did is I started confronting my fears. I started being brave. That's what it really happened. And as I became more uncomfortable and became more brave, I actually started getting more comfortable with being uncomfortable. So that's how it comes up with the Be Brave, Be You, because you need to be brave. You need to be your authentic self, your true self.
And I love how you put that, because a lot of times what we don't realize is from our upbringing, the things that happen to us, it starts to create who we are. And we either, because of the bullying, you are not being brave. It's bringing you into this shell. And so I love that you recognize that. And it makes me want to say, I need to give one big shout out to Jennifer Sanchez, the founder and president of Wise Women, Women's Institute of Self-Development and
Efficacy.
Thank you. my tongue is like efficacy. Just a fabulous woman, and she had a workshop, a seminar, a conference, and we were at the same table.
Yes, we were.
So cool to meet women who are all on the same journey. My He Said, She Said was founded on growing myself, trying to help men and women communicate better. And I just love the journey that I'm on of meeting women like you, who want to be brave, who want to
share their story
and
help others.
Help others, which is so that as we go on our journey, we want to bring others along to help us on those journeys, because we know we're not the only women like this who are dealing with what we've gone through. And so you mentioned something that I think is so cool. You mentioned the term you get uncomfortable. And I know right now this is one of your get uncomfortable moments. So tell me about that term, to get uncomfortable. What does that feel like for you?
Okay, well, getting uncomfortable to me is confronting your fear. So whatever makes you feel uncomfortable, you're supposed to face it. Because if you face your fear, you're going to overcome it. And that's why I think it takes for you to be brave and for you to be uncomfortable in order to get on the other side of fear, which is the best things in life. Everything that's good is beyond the fear. I mean, I'm a very spiritually based person, so I believe a lot in God, and He has walked me through my whole journey. And I sit here today amazed because He has basically ordained my steps, and He has kind of pushed me through and saying, okay, I got you to all these situations for a reason, and now you're seeing it. Now you have to help other women that are going through these challenges. And I that's what I found when we first launched Be Brave Be You, which was last Saturday, February 8th.
Wow.
We launched it with a boom. We launched it with Be Brave and Get Uncomfortable workshop. And so we had a group of about, I think I want to say about 15 ladies that showed up. And so about 11 of them joined the Be Brave 10-day challenge.
Ooh, you have a challenge.
There's a challenge. There's an online challenge, and they're just inspiring me like you wouldn't believe.
I think a lot of times, I know this is true for myself. When I do the things that you do for others, it helps you just as much as it helps them, that you go on that journey together. So you had this workshop. Congratulations. It's taken off. And I like what you said is how you realize the journey and that the purpose. I think a lot of times you could have wallowed in what happened to you,
my pain,
but to make your pain have a purpose to that pain, and be able to see that.
Yes.
And I think that's huge and empowering. And now you can feel empowered from negative situations, that it no longer is painful, probably because sometimes people can tell the story of being bullied and really feel pain from it, but to take that power back is so important. And I'm so proud of you for doing that. And so do you think that you'll ever have a branch off for children? Because it seems like some of them could be dealing with this at a young, dealing with what you dealt with.
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, BeBrave.bu is designed to help women of all ages. So it could be youth, young ladies, or women of all ages. I have actually two of my Be Brave online challenge ladies that are a part of that challenge right now. They're a more mature women, and they're still doing it. They're still facing their fears. And the nice thing about this is that it's my journey. I'm sharing my journey to them. Before I got them to do the 10-day Be Brave, Get Uncomfortable challenge, I did that myself.
So you did the challenge yourself first.
Myself first. So before I even became Be Brave, Be You, I challenged myself for 10 days.
Now, when you did this challenge for yourself, do you have a name for it, or was this something you had just done for yourself?
This is just
to
for
be able
myself.
to be brave and be you.
Yes, it was just part of my journey. So I did that. It was about 3-4 years ago. And I decided to get uncomfortable, which I knew if I got uncomfortable, it challenges me to get to the next level of my life. So I did that. And I was posting on Facebook Live or recording myself and then posting it on my profile. I mean, people were looking at me. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? What are you doing? What is that? Be brave, get uncomfortable. Why are you even going through that? What's the purpose of that? I'm like, it's part of my journey. And so now I see it. Now I see it. Now that I hosted the workshop, I launched Be Brave, Be You, and they're doing it. They're uncovering so many things about themselves that they were not facing, fears that were there. And that just, amazes me.
I love the idea of taking the next step to actually do it, to actually face whatever fear. And I think we all should take that message from what you're saying, because it could be something small, saying yes to an interview, saying something that you want to talk yourself out of. A moment ago, I don't like taking pictures. I don't know why I'm the most out in the public person, but I am very self-conscious about pictures, and just saying, just do it. And making you just, whatever that fear is, whatever you say no to, turn around and say yes and just do it. And I love that it's the Be Brave. And I hope that throughout our days as women, that they can take that phrase. That I love that phrase you started, and you have this cool logo. I really love how it's the wings. Explain the logo, because the logo
Okay.
is just really cool,
Yes,
and it
it's
goes with that be brave, be you. Explain it to
yes,
us.
yes. So the logo, it's very purposeful. If you look at the logo, it's a circle. It's all black, and then the lettering is bold. The letters, the words rather say, "Be brave." Dot. They're in bold.
And the dot, you make a point of saying the dot. Is there a purpose
Yes,
behind the
there's a
dot?
purpose behind the dot. There is a purpose behind the dot. So the circle is basically, this is where your environment, what you grew up in. So basically, you've been in your safe zone in that
When
circle.
you're inside of your circle,
You're
you're in
inside
your
of your
safe zone
circle.
and not trying to come
You're
out of
not.
this circle.
You're trying not to come out of that circle. You're trying not to grow. You're trying not to get uncomfortable. So you're within that circle. But I share it because when you read "Be brave," you're supposed to pause, because when you're being brave, you have to contemplate. Gotta be reflective. Why am I within this circle? Why am I not stretching out my wings? So the wings is like, why am I not getting uncomfortable and spreading my wings to become the better self that I could become? So that's what the wings signify. And then underneath, in more like a hot pinkish color, it's be you, because you have to be you in a journey. Even though you're getting uncomfortable, you're going to be uncomfortable, but because you're going to become that better person, that stronger person on the other side, once you spread your wings and fly. So that's what the Be Brave, Be You logo
And the colors
represents.
are
The colors are gold because it's
the
kind of
wings are gold.
majestic. Yeah,
Okay.
they're gold. The black is kind of like you're kind
It's
of
in that
stuck
box.
in that
Okay.
box. So you want to spread your wings and fly. And BU is just, it's hot pink because it's just fun. You have to be fun.
Vibrant.
You have to be you. Be if you're a funny, funny person, be a funny person. If you're the person that likes to be shy and introvert, that's your style, but you're being you. You're being authentically you.
I
That's what
like
it
that you
means.
said that, because I think a lot of times we don't embrace who we naturally are and think we should be something else. I like that you said, if you're quite, it's okay to be,
Hmm.
if you're really authentically being you, you don't need to be anyone else.
You don't need to be anybody else. And when the beauty of it is, when you start being yourself, your true self, and you start loving yourself as who you are, other people gravitate towards you,
I love that. I
because you
love
have
it.
to start with yourself. You have to start loving yourself. I didn't love myself for a long time. I had low self-esteem. And look at me now. Now I'm being interviewed with you.
Now you're on Media Chick
And
Spotlight on
now I'm
IntellectualRadio.com. Look at
and
you.
and I'm motivating women of all ages. I'm inspiring them. It just comes naturally because it's my story. I own my story.
That is so important, to own your story, love, and not be ashamed to
Hmm.
tell it. But we have to get to that point, and that takes,
Hmm.
so I think that's what's so perfect about having these workshops, is
Yes.
to get people okay with even
Hmm.
telling your story, to be able, it's very brave to be able to say I was bullied.
Yes.
That's not something people oftentimes will speak of. And
Exactly.
so that takes its own bravery. So you're
Hmm.
definitely coming out of that period, that dot you have there.
Yes.
So that's important.
Yes. And it's also said that whenever you could share your story and not cry or not be intimidated, you've healed. So, before, when I would share a little bit about my story and get uncomfortable, get vulnerable, I would start getting kind of teary eyed. I would start getting kind of emotional. And now it's kind of like, no, it's powerful. It's my story. I need to share it because then they could, you know, um, see themselves. If they're going through that, they could see themselves in me and be able to come out as a better person.
I love that. So motivating. And I love that whole concept. So what type of people, you mentioned women, is this solely for women?
It's
The Be
solely for
Brave, Be
women.
You? Okay.
Yes, solely for
But
women
of all ages.
of all ages. So I would say not young young girls yet, but I would say more like not
Teens.
like more like teens. Yes, more like teens. So it could be Probably my ideal audience would be maybe 18 and over, for example.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Did you have an
mhm.
aha moment when you knew it was time for you to get healed? Like, what was the catalyst to make you even go towards be brave, be you? What was the catalyst that made you say, I need to get uncomfortable? I need to heal from this?
Yep.
What was your aha moment?
So my aha moment was when I experienced just living my life in autopilot, basically. I was caretaking for my father, between myself and my sister and my mom. He was going through cancer. Unfortunately, he lost the battle of cancer. But during that time, I spent all the time with him, and I started reflecting so much. And when he passed away, it struck me to my core because I was very close to my dad. Um, and his story is he worked so many years and with the hopes that in 2 years he would retire and be able to live his long dream of going back to Mexico and just living out of the land and living in his home with my mom. And unfortunately, life had a different path for him. So when I saw that he was not living bravely, I decided like this is where Be Brave, Be You is gonna begin. I'm gonna get uncomfortable. And that's when I started doing the 10-day Be Brave, Get Uncomfortable challenge. Because I said to myself, I have to continue his legacy and I have to do something purposeful in my life. God didn't make me go through these challenges for nothing. I have a purpose to fulfill. And I feel very strongly because he's been working through me for the past, I would say, the past month or so. And so it really strikes on a personal level for me. And I think that's why when people experience the workshop, and I know some of the ladies that are in the workshop, they could tell you like, yep, that's her story. She was like really on top of that. And
I
inspiring us, and but
I love that. I love that your dad would be so proud to know that he inspired you to do something and then not to wait, because
mhm,
to put off things in life because we don't take that moment to get uncomfortable, we
yes.
may put it off and act like it's not important right now,
Hmm.
and we don't know, we're not promised tomorrow. So to be able to get uncomfortable right now, take
Yes.
the challenge and act on it is so huge, and such how many lives you will change just from bringing women with you through your journey is so huge. I love
Hmm.
that. So this workshop is when?
So the next upcoming workshop is workshop number 2 is the same topic. Be brave and get uncomfortable. It's going to be on Saturday, May 16, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I invite everyone to come and join us. I'm very excited to host the second one already. And like I said, a lot of the ladies that were in the first workshop decided to join in on the 10-day Be Brave, Get Uncomfortable challenge. And they're seeing so many changes already.
So to get in the challenge,
Mhm.
do you have to come to the next workshop?
I recommend coming to the workshop because then they understand the concept. They understand my story. They understand what I'm explaining.
And
And
they
then
get connected to their own story to see,
exactly.
I think, what not only to hear your story, but how that fits into their lives and
Mhm.
why it's beneficial for them
Yes.
to go to take the challenge and they see the outcome.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
that.
Yes, because if they were to do the challenge by themselves, they would not have the foundation and the instruction behind it, and they could not really relate. Like, what is this? But with them going through the workshop, they have a foundation. They feel more encouraged, and they have other
A
ladies that are
support system
a
for the
support
challenge.
system. They have like their community. They're cheering them on. Yeah, that's what I recommend.
So again, so to find that workshop, it's on. Do you have a Eventbrite? Is that
Yes, it's on
okay?
Eventbrite. It's called again "Be Brave and Get Uncomfortable," And it's on May 16th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Now, if you want to learn more about the background on Be Brave, Be You, you could visit our website, and it has my bio. It has a little bit about the organization, its mission, and then the workshop is listed on there too. There's a link for upcoming
On
events.
your, so tell us your website.
So it's Be Brave, B as in boy, U. It's not BE, it's just BUYOU.com.
But the first one is a B,
BE.
BE,
Yes.
brave, the letter B, U.
U.com. Yes.
And so your mission. So did you kind of explain that mission already? I'd like to hear what that mission of Be Brave, Be You. I think you've kind of touched on it already, but what would someone find on the websites of the mission of it?
Okay. So the mission is to create a movement of women that are living bravely with their lives, living authentically, to become the leaders that they already are designed to become. They just need some guidance. So that's our mission, to propel them to get uncomfortable, to confront their fears and become the best version of themselves. Because how many times, for example, Wanda, how many times have you been uncomfortable and you've kind of shied away from doing things? We all do, right?
The moment where someone says, okay, get up, you guys can network, and you look around like, oh, do I want to get up and just start talking to people?
Yes.
And like, oh, I'll just sit here and whoever talks to me. And so
Yeah.
so those moments where we have to push ourselves to be brave and just do
Yeah.
it. And
it looks different for every person. Like, how many times have you not confronted your fears with, because procrastination is a fear.
oh gosh, I'm a procrastinator big time.
fear of failure, it just looks in different ways, and you have to just discover what's holding you back.
And that's what the workshop will be so good for, is discovering, because you may not even think of, like you bringing up procrastination, someone may not realize that that's actually a sign,
Yes,
a
fear,
that they may just think, oh, I'll get to it, but there is an underlying reason why you're putting it off.
Yes. And in most cases, there's a subconscious experiences that you've had that have triggered in your brain and have kind of sat there for a while, and you don't know why. Have you ever had that feeling where you bump into a certain type of personality or person, or a certain type of circumstance or experience, and you're like, ooh, I don't know about that. I kind of feel uncomfortable about that. That's when you have to confront it.
I like that. I like that. That's yesterday on he said, she said, we had someone who said emotionally you could be stunted for life from the first 14 years, something that has happened to you within the first 14 years, and you could be stuck in that moment.
Yeah. You could be living like that for years upon years, and you might never even realize it. That's the thing. I want to have women kind of discover that, just kind of like, it's almost like having a curtain in front of you. I want them to kind of unveil the curtain, open up the curtain and see really what they should be doing, what they're designed to do.
And I think what is good too is for people, they may feel they are living their best life and they can still benefit from this. I mean, whether you feel like, oh, I don't have anything, everything's good in my life, but sometimes the propel to do whatever your next goal is. If their goal is,
your next level?
What's your next level? If you want to just go to the next level and don't feel you have anything, you still may have something you'd like to accomplish.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, you don't have to have my history. You don't have to come from a, from being bullied or have a toxic environment. You don't have to come from that upbringing at all. If you don't, that's even a plus. I mean, better for you. That's, your journey might be a little bit quicker than it was for me. So I encourage everyone to kind of, just kind of ponder upon that.
Because I think sometimes we think, well, I'm not dealing with that. But our fears could be smaller, on a smaller scale, whether it's I want a promotion at work, and and
Mhm.
you don't want to ask for that raise or whatever it
Yes.
is, that I think you can find a need for this in your life. There is always a
Mhm.
moment where you could be more authentic, be you, to ask for what you want, or where you feel like you're maybe not enough to ask
Uh-huh.
for this or that. So I just love the concept. And again, I want you to tell us how we can sign up for the workshop, because that's the first step to join the
Yes.
challenge,
Yes,
correct?
that's the first step. So again, go to Be Brave, Be You. So again, I'll spell it out. It's BE Brave, BRAVE, BYOU.com.
So have you, with this, have you ever run into what a struggle with getting this off the ground, or has there been a time where you had to be brave to be
Mm-hmm.
able to do this? Be brave.
All the time. Just because I promote being brave and getting uncomfortable does not mean that I sometimes have my uncomfortable moments. We're humans. We're supposed to be uncomfortable sometimes. See, we're as humans, we're designed to be in our comfort zone, because if you think about it, that's our safe zone. That's where we're like, okay, I'm going to be protected. So you automatically go to your comfort zone. Don't you sometimes relate more with certain women because they're your comfort zone? Those are the type of women that you vibe with. We all have our comfortable zones. And it's just a matter of sometimes we need to, step out, meet other people.
And usually once we do that, you feel
Mhm.
better, you feel
And
empowered.
you discover new things, right? Like things that you didn't even think about, like different perspectives.
And sometimes you don't realize the excuses you may make not to do something. I remember
Mhm.
Jennifer said, "Well, you have to come to this conference." And I said, "Well, I have to work. I'd have to try to get out of."
Mhm.
And I thought of all the reasons. And I said, "You know what? This is an opportunity when I need to just go and work it out and get someone to work for me and
Yes.
I need to go." Because if we look at what is sometimes being presented, it's there for a reason.
Mhm.
And so I would have met you, Lisba. You
Exactly.
fabulous. Be brave, be you. So, and I've met so many really wonderful women from that one experience,
Yes.
and how much
Mhm.
it helps me add more tools to my own toolbox
Mhm.
to be brave and to
Mhm.
step outside a comfort zone, because we'd never be butterflies if we stayed in our cocoons. So, uh,
Yes. It's all part of the growth process, because we always want to be in that growth stage. Even though we might not push ourselves to grow immediately, but at least we're pushing ourselves, right? You always don't you want to be motivated to like aim for different things? That's what I mean by next level, by growth. We always want to have that little excitement, like, oh, I want to reach this now. Next year I'm going to reach that. You want to have those moments that propel you, that encourage you.
are
I
you a
mean,
mom?
I'm not, but I'm a pet child mommy.
Well, what is this? And you probably, are you an aunt? You're probably an aunt.
I'm an aunt, yes.
Well, you gotta love those aunties, because they
Yes, yes.
they help. They're
I
part
love
of
my
our
little
village.
niece. I love my little niece. She might be watching right now.
But she's watching you, and I think
Uh-huh.
that's what's so important too, is
Mm-hmm.
as women we have someone in our lives, whether
Mm-hmm.
someone whether it's a child, whether it's a niece, or whether that looks up to you, and we sometimes don't even recognize that. So
Mm-hmm.
being our best self and being brave then teaches her, look at Aunt Lisba, she's doing this, and she sees you being brave. And
Yes.
I have my little Kenny, my dear niece, who I just love. I want to be her, actually. She's way braver than me sometimes.
Oh wow.
And so I love that we can all build from each other and help each other grow and see our best selves, which is part of what Media Chicks is for, is to also see the next woman and help her grow. We all grow together.
Yes, and always look out, ladies. Always look out for people that inspire you, because I got most of my inspiration through my grandma. And she would, I never knew that this would help me so much. But as a kid, she would say, you're precious, you're beautiful, you're like a gem. She would instill words of positivity in me. And that kind of, that grew in me. So look out for those women or those role models that inspire you. because it does make a lot of difference.
I could hear where it would make a difference, especially if you're being bullied, to be able to go back to what your grandma said about you, to
Hmm.
help in those times when they're hurting you, that you can pull back and say, but no, my grandma said I'm precious.
Yes.
And so, so that
And
kind
you
of
believe
counters.
whatever grandma says.
Yes, I'm a grandma. I'm glad you said that. I got to make sure I tell her that. So,
Hmm.
I think that's so important, and we can also do that to each other, though. That we don't have to be. I can say that to you and to the
Hmm.
next woman, and they can come to the workshop and grab those tools to say it to themselves. Because telling yourself that a lot of times is so
Yes.
important.
Yes. Another piece that I want to highlight too is forgiveness. It's very important. Forgiving others and forgiving yourself
Forgiving yourself
is
is huge.
very important.
Because that's the one person you carry around with you all the time. And if
Yes.
you don't forgive yourself, that's like that doesn't end.
Yes.
So that's so
Yes.
important. I'm glad you brought up that piece. So if there was one thing you want to leave us with about be brave, be you, and getting uncomfortable, what would that be?
I would say follow your heart because it will tell you what to do. It will tell you the moments where you feel uncomfortable. It will tell you the moments where you need to be brave. It will inspire you. It will tell you who you need to gravitate towards to help that person inspire you, or gravitate towards the people or women that are going to take you to the next level. And, just kind of follow your heart. That's what I would say.
I love that. So tell us again how they can go to the workshop and go on to join that challenge.
Okay. So again, go to bebrave.com. It's my website. And if you go to upcoming events, click on that link and it'll take you to the Eventbrite workshop that's scheduled for May 16th.
May 16th. I love it.
Hmm.
Maybe afterwards, have you back and tell us how it was. So, thank you so much, Lisbeth, for being my Media Chick Spotlight today on
Thank you. Thank you for
intellectualradio.com. I'm
having
so
me.
excited. And we'll be sharing this and consistently sharing this so you can sign up for this workshop because we have a month or two for everybody to get
Oh,
on
yeah.
board so we can join this
There's time.
challenge. There is time to be a better you. And I'm so excited about that. So thank you, Lisba. Go on the website. Make sure you get signed up for that workshop. And I will be bringing you another Media Chick Spotlight sometime in March. And thank you, Lisba, again. You
Thank you,
guys
Wanda.
keep tuning into intellectualradio.com. We have tons of shows, over 70 different shows, all different topics that bring you, that spotlight people, really good topics. It's intellectualradio.com, and I'll be back to you. So check us out next month. Thank you.